might I take a moment to recommend our long-term sponsor. Long-term as in we've been working together for almost 3 years now, which is pretty crazy. And a lot of changes have happened at Dev Mountain. They've changed a couple locations in the past to now they're in the Lehigh area. They're also in Dallas and Phoenix. But if you're interested in considering a coding bootcamp, might I recommend devmountain.com. They have programs in full stack JavaScript, iOS development, QA, UI, UX. You can find out more information at devmountain.com. All right, guys. So we are back in FreeCodeCamp's Information Security and Quality Assurance Certification. We're jumping into the QA and testing with Chai. For those of you know who have worked with me professionally, I am very big on unit testing, although I've mainly done it with Jasmine. I look forward to doing it with Chai. Similar to the last challenges, we'll be using the glitch link to be progressing, I believe anyhow. So let's go ahead and create this. So we'll be jumping back and forth between here. So let's read here. Cool. Let's go to the first lesson. As a reminder, this project's being built on glitch or cloned from GitHub. Use the cert is null or cert is not null. So quick explanation of unit testing. Unit testing, when done properly, can be used to verify acceptance criteria. It can also be used written in such a way that clearly defines what the project is supposed to do. And that way, if we go and we refactor something, we can see that the functionality is still there and that it's doing what it needs to do. So let's go to here. Use assert.isNull, assert.isNull. So let's see, where are we doing our asserts? Test.js. This is running it. Test unit test.js. Don't scramble the search when we rely on this. Is null. It's not null. So typically how it goes and is you simply, it looks like in this case they call them suites, and Jasmine they call them describes. Or essentially these are just containers right here, and then another container, and then here is our actual test. So what are we testing? Well, so this is you should typically only have one assert per test, but what we're testing is we're simply learning that something is null, and we're simply certain that something is not null. So perhaps an actual test case would be is like something is updated. You don't really care what it's updated to, but we hit our mock API, and then it updated some property or some variable. That's what we're checking. So instead of fail, we want to say dot is null. Which I guess takes in a second value here. So this is the value we're checking against as far as I understand. And then the second property goes into more detail. Interesting. That's different than I've done in the past. And then here you see one, we'll say is not null, which is going to assert that that is in fact not null. Cool. All right, let's go ahead and throw it in here. I've completed this challenge. Very good. Excuse me. So, is defined, is undefined. No. When you've done and taken a test-driven development approach to something, is defined is one of those items that you'll be using more and more. The reason for it is the whole red-green refactor, and we can do something. I'll do a video later on about test-driven development, or maybe I'll make it part of my Code Like a Pro course, where essentially the idea is you do is not defined, or excuse me, you would break something, then you'd write something that fixes it, then you break something, then you write something that fixes it. In terms of you'd write a failing test, then you write the smallest amount of code that you can do to make it succeed, and then you write the next step of your logic, and then the smallest amount of code for it to succeed. That's the general idea. So, that's a very, very small idea. So, in this case, we don't want it to fail. Is null defined? No. Null is not defined. And then I'm truthy, so is defined. Oh, wrong one. Excuse me. We're wrong line. Here we are saying is defined, is not defined. Null is not defined. And then is undefined, excuse me. And then we have here undefined is undefined. And then hello is defined. All right. So go ahead and get our live app, copy it over. Wham, bam. Thank you. Failed to equal pass. Choose the right assertion. Null is not undefined. Ah, so null is defined. My apologies. I thought I made the set because null is a value that developers assign. Thus, it is something that we have gone out of our way to say it is defined, even though null represents no value. Excellent. Okay, I understand. Is it okay? Is it not okay? Is okay as truthy? Is not okay as falsy? So this is a very loose test. So far is what we've basically been doing. This is so typically all your tests are going to evaluate to true or false. It either passes or doesn't pass. There's not sort of an intermediary when you're writing your test. Okay. So is null okay? No, it's not okay. And the reason for it is because that is a falsy value. I'm truthy is okay, and I'm is okay, the value true, because that is a truthy value. And we are on, I gotta remember what was scented triangle. There we go. Very nice. All right. So we're going to do is true, is not true. Is true for true, is true for not everything else. Imagine that. So is this true? This is indeed is true. Is double bang on this going to be true? Yes, that's going to convert it to true. So that's going to be is true. And then is this true? No, this would be is not true. And that's going to be because this is an object. It's a truthy value, but it is not actually the true Boolean. Go back to our scented triangle. Very nice, so on and so forth. Equal compares objects using the double equals. Okay. So a little bit of equality operator here. We go, all right, well, how are we going to do equal here? Let's see. So is the number 12 equal to the string 12? Yes, it is. So that's going to pass. Is the value, object value 1 equal to that? Compares objects references. So this is not equal, even though the values are the same. Even though these objects have the same value, the fact of the matter is that they're separate objects. 6, I actually don't know what that does. I would never do that. So what is 6 times 2? That's actually going to return a number. Is that equal to 12? So we can do equal. And then finally 6 plus 2. I think that's going to concat it on there. If I remember correctly. 6 plus 2. 6 plus string 2 should be 62. Yeah. Okay. And that would be not equal. All right, cool. So go back to our scented triangle. Very nice. All right. So one critique of this so far is that what this is really just teaching us methods. I don't think it's going to go into good convention, good standards, but that's okay. When you look at these tutorial sites, what they're trying to do is just give you a quick rundown of the important parts. Then you got to go and learn how to do it properly through channels like mine or YouTube courses or Udemy courses or whatever it is. So something to keep in mind. So with that being said, here we are. Cool. strictly equals, and not strictly equals. So go back to here. So not strict equal, right? And then strict equal, and then 6 times 2 is 12, so that will be strict equal. And these are passed by reference, so not strict equal. All right, go back to our scented garden, scented triangle. Here's a little scented triangle for you. You guys see that? There you go. There's our scented oil diffuser. Deep equal. So now we're talking about how do we make a comparison for objects that are deeply equal, not deeply equal, in the sense being the objects aren't the same, or objects are the same and have the same properties and things like that, if I understand where they're going with these deep equals. Key orders doesn't match. So in here, we would say not deep equal. And then, let's see here, not. Well, does it matter if the key orders matches? We'll find out here in a second. Failed to equal pass. The order of keys does not matter. Ah, okay. The orders of keys does not matter. So here, we would say deep equal. So we are simply saying, do these have the same values? We don't care about the order, and we don't care that they're the same object. Or not the same object, rather. Understood. But the order matters in arrays. Is above, is at most. All right. Comparisons is above, is at most. Hello.length is 5. Is above is saying A is greater than B. So this is A. This is B. Is at most is saying A is less than or equal to B. So I got it. All right, and then here is above math.py is above is at most. Now I will say I hope we get to where you just essentially are writing your own statements, because one of the issues that I have with what's going on here, and this could just be me being more experienced with testing, is that I don't want you to have to remember all of these. Like this one, you're probably gonna have to remember, but typically you have just define your statement here without having to use all these helper functions. And I personally think that's the better way of going about it, but that's just my stance. Because who wants to remember is below, is at least, unless you're working in it daily, which if you're working in Chai daily, I guess it makes sense. But even nowadays when I do my testing, there's in Jasmine, there's something called 2B, which you just throw your logic that you're checking there. You're checking your result and then define it. So, okay, is below, is at least. All right, more basic math stuff where, hey, is A greater than or equal to, so this would be is at least, is below, is that a capital L? No, it's just that L just looks weird. So 2 times math.random is going to be is at least, and then fail here, 5 modulo 2 is going to be 1, and so it's 1, so this is going to be is below, and then here 2 divided by 3 is going to be is below. Go back to our little scented triangle. Very nice. Nothing to really see here. So approximately actual, expected range, and message actual plus minus range. Choose the minimum range to make the test always pass. It should be less than 1. Okay, so we're getting a little bit more complex here, edit this. So approximately is the actual number. So where's weird numbers? Weird numbers is 1 plus delta minus math.random. Okay, so 1.5 minus random. So expected is 1. The range and then the message. Okay, so edit this. The range is within 1. So which is 0.99. That should pass. 0.99. I don't like that one, because I think you can essentially write something. It's within 1 plus or minus 0.5. Choose the correct range. Okay, so I chose something that wasn't. Do I need a message here? So messages are probably optional. Let's go 0.5 and 0.8 because it needs to be within 1, if I understand correctly. Try this one more time. There we go. All right. As a reminder, project is built on glitch. Is array is not array. So this has no code. I'll come back here and leave a comment here to update this. All right, cool. So here we go. Here is array is not array. So what are they looking for? So here we go. Is this an array dot split? It is an array, right? Because split is going to return an array of characters. And then this might actually be, now that I'm thinking about it, this might actually be a good way to give like math problem ways of understanding what each method's doing. Sort of break it down, hundreds of these at a time to people. So index of returns a number. So this is not going to be, is not an array, right? Cool. Simple enough. That is not an array. I think we're probably coming soon to the end of this. Choose array assertion, include versus not include. All right. So include versus not include. Winter months includes July. Where is winter months? Not include. And then backend languages includes JavaScript. It does include. Very nice. All right. And is string. Strings. Objects. Okay, we're getting close to here. So a couple arrays. So string, math.sign, math.float. A float is not a string. So imagine this is going to return a math number. Process env.path is a string. And then JSON.stringify is a string as well, assuming that it actually passes and doesn't blow up, which I'm assuming they all do. Cool. And then finally, we need to do some tests for include, not include showcase here for our strings. So you can use the same ones. They're not array specific. So format people John Doe 35, comma regex. Let's format people. Hashtag name plus age. God, I don't know what the hell this regex is. So I'm going to say that this matches. And this, this is, it includes. So this includes, was it include or includes? Include and not include. arrow contains row. A dart doesn't contain a queue. Let's go back to this. Dart does not. Did I get these backwards? So I was thinking, but maybe we want to do the age like this. Age 24. 10. Oh, you know what? I jumped the gun, didn't I? I was like, that doesn't make any sense. Okay. It asserts that the actual string contains the expected substring. So does arrow contain row? All right. Does. Dart does not include. That makes a little bit more sense. Got a little confused there. Oh no. Save. I think we might have hit a caching issue. No caching issues. Oh, let's go back one more time. Let's see if we can clear this. I'll test she's right. Let me go back to my test. Just oh, wait, no. No, this is right. Oh, no include is not right. Not include is right. All right. There we go. All right, now we're on to the regular expressions. So, match versus not match. Okay, so I'm going to guess. All right, let me go back to here. So we have something name, then when it's concatenated with any word with any and then age, and then I think D plus is a number. So match, and then this is a string, so that should be not match. And you can see we have our regex as the second property that's passed into here, and bam, cool. All right. Property, not property. All right, so in our objects, we're going to check that my car has the wings property. I have to display this message. So my car, it's a new car. Car does not have wings, so we're saying it's not property. And then airline plane, new plane, has engines. So we're going to say it does have that property. And then finally, my car has wheels, which it does, so we're going to say it has that property. And then we're going to jump up to her, do a little wham bam. Very nice. Excellent. All right, now we are going to do type of versus not type of, and this is going to check the prototype. All right, so type of my car is object. That's going to be true. MyCar.model is going to be string, so that's going to be type of. And then airplane.wings is going to be a number, so we're going to say that's not type of. And then airplane.engines was an array, so I imagine. Now, if this is JavaScript, which it is, and if the language doesn't do something wonky, this is going to be not type of, because the type of an array is actually an object. And then mycar.wheels is a number, so we're going to do type of. Let's see. Let's see if they do anything wonky in the background. They do. Okay. A little quick demo. If you do a type of an empty array, you get object. There's no such thing as an array type in JavaScript. That's fine though. Let's go ahead and try it one more time. There we go. Okay. Instance of, not instance of. So instance of is going to test the classes and see if we have what we expect. So my car is an instance of plane. I'm going to say that is not an instance of. Right, not instance of. Okay. And then airplane is a instance of airplane is an object. What is object? I'm gonna go non-instance of on this. I might be wrong here, but that's okay. And then my car.wheels is an instance of string. That's going to be not an instance of because it's actually a prototype of number. Let's just see what we get here. Now it looks like I'm going to fail that test based on what that additional message was. Oh, I chose the wrong one. We need the center triangle. There we go. Okay, gotcha. So anytime I pass in the object, which is the object prototype, is that what it's saying? Okay, I guess we don't even have to define it. It's just, it is. We're saying that's apparently defined in Shy. Cool, I think, let me see here, because I don't want to go on to the next section. I want to make sure we're at the right section before we continue on. Okay, we got a few more now. So what we did so far was essentially really true unit testing, but we're not always going to be doing testing on the logic, which you are, but also, you know, APIs are going to be important as well. So I think we're done with this glitch. And now we're going to open a new one, and we're going to do some examples of how we might test an API. All right, so let's go to, here we go. Let's go to test, and oh, I guess we could have just gone to functional test at that point. Cool. So we have our integration test here. Now we're going to start dealing with asynchronous tasks, which it looks like the way that they're having it done is we're just doing some set timeouts for this first one. Okay, so replace assert.fail text the status and text response. Make the test pass. Don't send a name in the query. The endpoint will respond hello guest. So we want to make sure that our status is coming back correct and our text is coming back correct. So here's an example. And let's look at our example. So we are saying, hey, on this route, we're doing something, right? We're testing this and the function done. Done is called at the end to essentially say that it's a callback method to say, hey, we have completed this test, and to terminate the test so that if we have things like an observable stream or we have additional data, and we can terminate the test without running into async issues. That's what the done is there. Okay, so chai request server. Server is something we're importing. Get hello function end. And then we'll see, we want, what was the method? The method was, oh, we already learned the method. Res.status. Is it match? Match work? I'm trying to remember the name of it. So we did, what was the text? Is equal? What was triple equals? Strict equal. Let's try this. Oh, actually, strict equal is not going to work there because strict equal. What's double equals again? Equal. Okay. So let's do equal, and let's do strict equal. And what is our new garden thingy? Expected strictly equal to equal. Okay, so they wanted the double equals, so just equal in this case. Do it again. There you go. I was being too strict, although that's the better way of going about it. All right, so now we are going to send the name in the query by appending the query name, and then test that we still get the same thing here. So what do we want? The endpoint which responds with hello. Okay, so now we're going to test with a name. So on the query here, you can see we have XYZ, and we wanted to say hello XYZ, and we can go ahead and do the same thing here. Equal. Status should still be the same. Should still be what we expect it to be. And then, what the hell was this called again? Perpetual something or another. Perpetual copy pasta. Okay, so we can see that, hey, it's going to affect. So essentially, our API call, like we'd expect, is going to have different values that are going to be coming back to our text, right? And we probably have a somewhere in our code that's concatenating that, I'd imagine. We're going to do a put request. Travel accepts a JSON object. This, the route responds with this. See the server code details. Replace cert fail and make the test pass. So we're going to be using. We have 4 tests. One, that the status is equal to 200. So let's jump down here. So response should be equal to 200. Type should be equal to application JSON. And then we should see res.body.name is equal to Marco. Res.body.surname is equal to Polo. And you can see we're sending this. And if I had to guess, what's going to happen when we run this right now is that we're not going to have Marco on there. Polo should be there. Oh, this is an example. I was like, it looks like it's already done. Okay, so remove this after adding test. So what we're going to do here is we're going to first test the status. We're going to say, hey, res, what do we want? Res dot status comma 200. All right. The next thing we want to test is that the res.type. So let's go ahead and control Z. Res.type is going to be, I believe it was application/JSON. And now we're going to say that res.body.name. So here's surname. Let's comment this back in. And instead of surname, this needs a, let's clean this up a little bit. Bam, bam, put a little dot. We're going to send this method through. And then we're also going to have a name here that is equal to Christopher, and bam bam, and then a surname equal to Colombo. Okay, and now let's go ahead and do our certs. I'm just going to copy this over real quick, save myself some typing, and that's, I don't care about these messages. And here we're going to say the body.name should be this, and the should be this. And if I did all that right, minus the fact that this is here, there we go. That's so much better. So we should pass our test. So let's see here. Res.type is application.json. You should test for this. Did I not? Expected application JSON. Oh, you know what? They want single quotes. Is that what the deal is? Let's try it one more time. There we go. Simple little bug. They really should make their test more verbose. It's not that hard to do. Okay. As a reminder, exercise similar proceeding. We are going to say the same stuff here. Repetition is the mother of learning. Sure. So we are going to place our test inside the callback like we would expect, right? In this case, res is not defined, so we are going to say chai dot request. In here, we're going to pass in our server. We are going to do a get. What are they asking? Check for one status. What full assertion? We lie. All right. I guess it's a put. Let's do this. This will take. Instead of copying all this over, we'll do it like this. All right. So we're doing the same call as before, except this is going to be our surname. So, going to paste that in there, and then what was the name? Giovanni. I'm definitely going to misspell Giovanni. Whenever I see the name Giovanni, I think of, what was that one girl from Jersey Shore? Snooki and her boyfriend Giovanni. Alright, I'm cultured. Alright, so then we're going to pass in the name here. Like I said, a little bit of repetition. At this point, let's just go over the logic. We are writing what we're expecting our test to do. We're then saying, hey, use this server, do a put call. We expect the put call to return this, and then when that completes, run our test, and then make sure we throw done to say, hey, this test is done at the end for this specific asynchronous type of test. And then format. There's an error on line 298. Let's see, do I have one too many? Yeah. Now let's format. Okay. Give me 1 second to copy this. I think probably I got this. Oh. Alright, format this file. Excellent. Now, get rid of this and do this. Format this file. Cool. There we go. Save it. And now we have our perpetual. We expected res.type to be application.json. Oh, when I pasted it in, did it? I don't know if when I pasted it in, it converted it, or I didn't do it again. Alright, save it. Not that we need to, and it notifies me, but hey, I'm old school. I save my own stuff, alright? Run functional testing using a headless browser. All tests should pass. So far we've done unit testing, really, and functional testing, generally speaking. So here's some functional tests, but now we're going to get into true functional testing where it's actually going to generate a browser, and we're going to see it do some stuff. Like typically you'll hear that referred to as end-to-end testing, where we are actually going to use selectors on the board, or excuse me, selectors on the DOM, and say, hey, move the mouse here, click here, move the mouse here, put this in. Are these valid things? And we can test the DOM as well. So assert the headless browser request has succeeded. All right, so let's jump to here and see how we do that. So sweet setup, browser.visit/done. Remember, web interactions are asynchronous because it takes time to go from point A to point B, and page loads and all that sort of stuff. So now what we're going to be doing is we've been doing Chai, but now we're going to Mocha integrates into Chai. Will help us with some of this stuff. So here's an example. So browser.fill, and then you can see surname Paulo, and then press button, submit, function. Assert that it's okay. Okay. So this is how that we can, first thing first, assert that our browser's okay. Don't get press button is async, waits for the Ajax call is complete. I gotcha. So we're pressing button. Did it, you know, are we good? Are we good to go? Did it do what it say? Did our browser actually load properly? Because if not, boom, nothing matters. Yes. Okay. Next is the status okay? 200. So status to what? Assert that the status is okay to 200. That doesn't look right, I think. So I think that comment's outdated. Let's save that. Okay. Has browser request succeeded? Assert the text inside the element span/name is Cristoforo. Okay. So what we're putting here is the selector, and this is going to be, I guess, when we say .text, is going to be the value that's coming out. So span.name is Cristoforo, and then we're going one step deeper, saying span.surname is Colombo. That's going to get the text inside this selector, and then we're going to say span/dates is, and their count is 1. Assert that the elements. So here we are actually, this is going to be something that returns multiple, presumably, and we're saying, hey, how many of these elements are there? And there should be 1. All right, so if we did that correctly, I think we passed it in. So oh my god, this is killing me. Format this file. Change this to that. And run our code. All tests should pass. Expected failed to equal pass. Oh. Don't forget to remove that. There we go. And let's move on to the next one. Before we do that, I want to see if there's a way I can launch this to show you guys. So let's go to our package JSON, npm start. Let's go to our tools and our full page console. And let's do this. npm start. Unhandled error event. Address already in use. Container status okay. Because I think what's going to happen is if we go and we run our test for this, it will fire off the browser, and I'd like to show you that so you can actually see what's happening here. However, let's see. Let's go to public client.js styles.css. I'd like to see if I could show that. All right, maybe another time. All right, so functional test, headless browser 2. So let's continue on down our functional testing here. Back to our test, functional test. Cool. All the way to the bottom. And we did this one. Now we got, we did this one. So assert that the status is okay 200, not something we need to do. Or maybe, let's see, maybe we have to do it this one. Browser has succeeded. Yeah, so this is incorrect. And step 1. Oh, we have to actually fill the form. Submit username and write your end-to-end test. So, like how we did it before, this is our callback. Now we're doing it. So, and then this will be our name here. When we press button, this is going to submit it. Next thing that we're going to do, so we're going to paste that in there. We're going to take out that. We are then going to say, hey, let's copy these over. And then we'll do them one by one. Browser success, format this file. And then span/name, span/Colombo, span/dates, except that's not exactly what we want. So span name is Amerigo. And Control X. Surname is Vespucci. That's my best, Vespucci. And should still equal 1. And of course, we need to fix these frickin' double quotes. I would do a Control F and replace on here, but my concern is that it'll mess up other quotes on the page. All right, format this file. Everything looks good, and I think that should be it. Span/name is Amerigo. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Let's go back to FreeCodeCamp. Curriculum. All right, so expected span/name to be this, and I swear what happened was when I formatted it, it changed those. Okay, so that's kind of really annoying that I change them and then it changes to a format that's not there. Okay, so we covered quite a bit in this section. We learned how to write basic unit testing, where our objective with that is to test the basic functionality. Is our code doing what we want to do? Are we testing against edge cases? All that sort of stuff. Then the last part, we dove into the very all of this. We just scratched the surface, so didn't really go into best practices or how you might use it in a project today, which is going to be a little bit rough for you who are inexperienced. So what I would say is to go and dive deeper on this on your own and see how you might use this in a professional project. The end-to-end functional testing that you saw at the end there, which we didn't actually bring up on the screen, but where it's like, oh, there's a button on the page and we click it and it does this and submits this data. That's going to make a little bit more sense, I feel like, to a lot of people. But yeah, so that was the chai and a little bit of Mocha introduction. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching the video. If you're interested in any of my courses, there are links in the description below. I'll see you next time. Bye. Hey guys, don't forget to hit that notification bell or smash that like button while you're at it. And if you're interested, I just released my latest course, the 100 Front-End Technical Question Challenge, which is there to help you pass those front-end technical interviews. There's over 100 questions. You can get it for just $9.99. The link is in the description below, or use coupon code CodingGod.